So welcome back, everybody. Today what we're doing, I'm basically getting this engine ready to go into this car, and we've got a lot of work to do. I don't know if we're going to get it all done, but right now I've got a lot of parts that I need to clean. I need to transfer parts from my engine block to this engine block, and just a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to try to get as much done as we can. Probably going to time-lapse a good chunk of it because I just got to get to work. So hang on, guys, because pretty soon we're going to have this baby running again, and I can't wait. We got a drift event coming up this Sunday, so goal is we want to have it ready by Sunday. It's Monday now, so we'll see what happens. Wish us luck. We know we're shit. Yeah. Thanks for watching the Daily Drift. So welcome back, everybody. It's obviously the next day. So me and Austin are really struggling with this Vanos thing, and I didn't feel comfortable like telling people how to do something that I don't know how to do, because that's kind of stupid. So especially something that's important. So we just kind of did that on our own. Camera died, filled up with memory, and we wanted to just keep working. So anyway, long story short, we got it on there. It looks like this. So you can see it's on there. We got the tensioner, we got the new guide and everything. Vanos cleaned up. We got it reinstalled, and it's all sitting pretty. So now the next step where we're at currently is putting the valve cover on. So before we put the valve cover on, I'm going to dump some oil on the camshafts and all the lobes and just kind of make sure it's got a good coating of oil in there. And yeah, we're just going to do that, and then we're going to seal it up, put the valve cover on, and just keep going, slapping parts on this thing until we don't have any more parts to put on it. So let's do it. So I just remembered it might be helpful if the oil filter housing's on there, otherwise I'm going to pour oil and it's just going to come flowing out the side of the block, and I don't want that. Okay, so this thing's good to go. I just said queso. I'm hungry. Anyway, I gotta get back to what I'm doing. So we got this thing done. Basically all I gotta do now is I'm gonna get the valve cover on and just kind of go from there. Like I said, we're just slapping shit together at this point because I really want to drive this car, like really bad. So just keep on rolling. It always amazes me what a little bit of cleaning can do. I mean, look at how nice this is. This is a used part, but it looks basically brand new. So, yeah, a little bit of elbow grease goes a long way. So I'm just going to put these motor mounts on. I believe it's like 16, 17 foot-pounds, but I double check. Might just do the good old Guten type. So I guess now all we'll do is work on getting the spark plugs put in, so that way we can do the coils, and then we're not worried about anything falling in the engine. Because I just finished cleaning them and now they look nice and fresh. Only you can make it right. I shout your name into... Alright, so now I'm basically taking stuff from this engine and putting it on this engine. And yeah, it's just a bunch of little things and I'm just going to be running around like a chick with my head cut off. So, let's get to it. Well, we didn't get as far as I wanted to, but I mean, I got a lot done. It's really late. It's about midnight, almost 1 o'clock, so I'm about to call it a night. And we're just going to pick this up where we left it probably tomorrow. It's another day in the garage, and today I'm working on getting the accessories put on the engine, the headers, you name it. Basically, I just want to put everything on the engine, get it off the stand, and connect to the transmission. I've got a ton of parts that I need to clean. I got my nasty ass bucket full of purple power, and I've got all these accessories that need to come off, get cleaned, and get popped over here onto this beautiful engine. So let's do it. So this is probably one of the nastiest looking engine blocks I've seen in a long time. I didn't realize just how filthy my engine was, but like, Holy crap, take a look at this. That's right, that's all just like straight up grease, like just a layer of it. And it's just, you could tell, I don't know if it was from this, if it was from the Vanos, or what, but it just leaked all over. I mean, look at this power steering pump. It is just covered in nastiness. So basically, I've got all my parts laid out here. These are like all the accessories and stuff. Some of them are from mine, and I don't know if I want to use my old alternator, because, I mean, it worked. It wasn't broken. So I might just keep using it. This I'm almost certain was bad, and luckily we have a spare from the other engines, which I'll probably end up using, because just looking at this makes me think that it was probably leaking at some point. The only thing that I'm missing is there's a bolt that's hidden behind this like crank pulley, and that bolt's kind of hard to get to without pulling the crank pulley, which I don't want to do that. If you know anything about those bolts, they're a pain in the ass. So I'm trying not to mess with it. So I'm going to try to find another bolt that's basically the same size. I found one that's close. Try to find another one if I have to. I'll use washers. Doesn't matter. It's a strong bolt. It'll hold. So now I've basically just got to clean all these parts and get them somewhat decent, because I don't like dirty parts on a clean engine. So that's what we're going to do. Basically just a bunch of busy work tonight. Just trying to get this thing off the stand. The one thing I do think about is, I wonder if I should take this off the stand before putting the accessories on. Because I don't know if those bolts can hold that much weight. It's a lot of weight. But I guess we'll just have to find out. So before we can go and put this puppy in the car, I got a few more accessories I need to put on, and we need to get the transmission hooked up. I've been spending the last couple of days literally just cleaning parts and accessories and getting things ready to go on, because I don't like putting dirty parts on a clean engine. It just doesn't seem right. If you can tell, my floor's been kind of destroyed from all the cleaning I've been doing in here, because most of this I've been having to do at night, or usually like later in the day, just because that's when I have the time to do it. So it's kind of like I've been doing it with the garage down, trying to be quiet, because the last thing I want to do is upset the neighbors. I will say though, I really miss driving this thing. I always forget just how clean this thing is. I mean, for me, this is a really clean car. So enough yammering on. Well, let's work on getting this thing together. We're going to get the accessories on, and let's get this engine off the stand, get the transmission on, and just get this puppy rolling. So step one, we're going to take all this stuff and pop it on there. One step closer. So we got that done. We got the engine pretty much ready to go. It's going to get off the stand here. We got to slap the transmission, the clutch, all that on there. Austin's over here. He's working on getting these engine mounts out, because we got some good solid ones going in.
Oh, that is junk.
Yeah, these ones were totally cooked. So once we get those out, we'll put the new solid ones in. I do have to change out the blower motor, because it's way easier to do when there's no engine in there, because otherwise it's a pain in the ass. So I'm going to do that, and then, yeah. So now we're just going to continue putting the trans on and getting everything connected. So, you all right over there? He's having little struggles getting out because it's a tight squeeze. Tight squeeze. All right, he's good. So we're almost there. Just a little bit more to go. And then we should be able to at least get the engine in the car. That's the goal. If we get the engine trans in the car today, we're going to call that a win. So let's get to it. So guys, unfortunately, yet again, we're still not making progress where we wanted to. It looks like we're not going to be able to get this thing done tonight because it's late. I got to get to the gym. But we're going to continue this tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll get it in the car. I'm probably just going to add it to this video. So you'll see it right about. So now all we got to do is pop this engine on this transmission, get it off the stand, and put it in the car. It's going to be a pretty busy day today, but we're going to do what we can. So let's get started. So guys, you might notice something looks a little different. It's because I'm a dumbass and I dropped my camera and it fell on the floor and completely shattered my lens. This is a different lens, that's why it's all zoomed in on my face right now, but take a look at this shit. Yeah, that used to be the lens for this. We're trying to see if we can fix this. Right now, Austin's over here holding this epoxy stuff.
It's almost done.
And it might be okay. I just don't know. I don't know if there was actually another lens on top of this. It looks like there's a little ridge. So it's really hard to tell. I don't really know. This may have just been the filter that I had on it. But I know you guys may not really care too much about that kind of stuff, but it's going to change the way this looks for a while if it is broken. So hopefully it's not, because that was an expensive lens. Wish us luck. So it's pilot bearing into the trans. We're using the pilot bearing from our engine because we just replaced it like 1,000 miles ago, it feels like.
So clutch, flywheel. Oh wait, flywheel, clutch. I can't think.
Transmission's going on.
Yes.
So basically we're just using a hose with some grease, filling up that thing with grease to get that pilot bearing out. The other one popped out by hand, so good thing, bad thing, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I learned my lesson not to use a socket when I did this on the Miata. Oh, look at that. There she blows.
Basically, you take a clutch alignment tool because it fits perfectly in there, and you shove this in there. Usually you'll need a hammer or something, but it works. And you might need to use a hammer to force it in. Now you're just tapping it in there with the hammer. Pow, pow, pow.
There we go.
And there it goes. Look at that. Gotta add more grease.
There we go.
And she's out. Bada bing, bada boom. That's simple. Clutch alignment tool, some grease, and a hammer.
And gloves might help too.
Yeah. Austin just cleaning the grease out of there. There was a shitload. Now he's getting it all out. Just greasing up our old, what's that thing called?
Pilot bearing.
Just so we can put it on there.
A very light coat of grease. Doesn't matter what way.
If we're lucky, it'll just slide in. We're using a 22 socket just to tap it in slightly. There it is. That's the sound we're looking for. And now you can see. It's good. And if you feel in there, you can feel for where if there's a lip, and there's no lip anymore. So we should be good.
I know how to do pilot bearing.
So this is how you know if your transmission mounts are bad. They look something like that. Pretty sure that's not good. So we're going to change them out. I got some like solid-ish. They're like poly, but a little bit harder than poly. Urethane, and we're going to pop those suckers on there. So let's do it. So Austin's going to be working on putting those little things on there. They're little solid-ish mounts. Basically, they're just going to go right in place of the old ones. Boom.
So I'm an idiot. We can't put those in until they're in the car because we need to be able to tighten the nut end goes into the subframe. So we have to have that tightened before we can tighten it to the trans. So they're not on there right now.
That's okay. So normally you're not supposed to reuse your flywheel bolts, but if it breaks, we know why, and we can blame me, but I can't waste any more time. We're going to put this thing together and hope for the best.
I just can't wait to see everyone in the comments telling us about how we shouldn't do this or that. It's like, we know we're not supposed to. We know we're doing the wrong thing. But desperate times call for desperate measures. But it's a risk, so we'll see. Should be good. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
We hope it's fine. So Austin's got the little clutch and alignment tool set up. He's just basically popping that sucker on there. So that way we can go ahead and work on getting the pressure plate on. Basically, you just got to get it to hold. You might have to force it in there a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, it's on there.
Just trying to pop it. Hey! Oh no! That's a no bueno. So this thing's a throwout bearing. You see those little tabs? They only go on here one way. Basically, we're just sliding it on here with the tabs facing up. And then they should just go in something like that. So now it can't rotate. It's already in there, so this way it'll move up. And then the clutch itself should push back on this to hold it in place. So it should be good. This was the one that was just replaced like not too long ago. And look at how messed up it is. It's already coming apart. This one was literally just a couple miles from falling apart completely. That's what one too many clutch kicks will do to you. So be warned. This one's probably only gonna last like another 2 days. We'll see. Now we're just gonna put the trans on.
Hell yeah. Oh hey, look at that. You're on the downhill again.
Beautiful. Tighten that top one so I can let this go. Cool.
Is that supposed to stick out that far?
Yeah. Okay, so now he's just putting the bolts in. There's a whole shitload of them, and once we get it on, we'll just, yeah. I think we already covered this. Did we cover this before?
We covered taking it off, I believe.
Alright, well.
We'll see you guys in a second.
So unfortunately, we're not finishing it tonight. We're going to have to continue this tomorrow. So we'll do what we can, but making some progress.
Do you think BMW intended someone to use zip ties and
1/4 inch drive clips? Probably not. But it worked.